We always and ever wondered what happens to the human body in the very moment the soul leaves. Not spiritually, not symbolically, but scientifically. What actually happens inside our cells? How does a perfectly healthy looking body suddenly becomes lifeless? Today's video will take you on a journey into the hidden world inside a human body after death. A world full of mystery, action, and silent transformation. And trust me, it's far more fascinating than most people think. The last breath and the first second after death. Scientists say the moment the heart stops beating, the entire universe inside our body changes. In the last breath, our 30 trillion cells, the tiny units that keep us alive, begin to lose oxygen. Just 1 second after death, the body begins its journey towards decomposition. But here is the curious part: death is not sudden, it is a slow shutting down process. Even after the heartbeat stops, some cells stay alive for minutes, even hours. The body is dead, but the cells are fighting for survival. The army that awakens 37 trillion bacteria. Inside your intestines live 37 trillion bacteria. When you are alive, they help digestion. But the moment you die, they switch sides. They stop working for you and start working on you. These bacteria begin their silent mission to decompose the body. They break down dead cells, tear tissues apart, and convert carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins into gases. And these gases create the smell we recognize as the smell of death. Why the smell attracts insects? Those gases act like a signal, a strange kind of invitation. Flies, ants, and insects can smell it from far away. For them, a decomposing body is not something sad, it is a perfect source of food. Flies arrive first, lay eggs, and within hours, hundreds of tiny larvae begin feeding. The natural cleanup crew. Nature has its own cleaning army. Not just bacteria, but insects, worms, and microbes. Together, this team ensure that within days the body begins to disappear. Muscles soften, skin changes color, gases build up, organs break down. In a few weeks, the body loses its shape. In a few months, only bones remain. In a few years, even the bones turn into dust. The body we spend our lives decorating. Think about it. This same day that we spend our entire life decorating, protecting, feeding, and worrying about is the first thing that nature takes back. We buy expensive clothes, expensive creams, expensive foods, expensive fragrances, but everything used to make this body beautiful ends in the soul. The one thing that does not decompose, but here is the part scientists cannot deny. Among everything that returns to dust, there is one thing that no bacteria can touch, one thing no insect can eat, one thing that never decomposes, and that is the soul. Yes, scientists may not define it. Some call it energy, some call it consciousness, some call it life force, but everyone agrees on one thing: there is something inside the human body that cannot be measured, cannot be seen, yet gives life to every cell. And that is the only thing that survives deaths. The soul we neglect, and here is the painful truth. We spend our whole life feeding the body that will vanish, but we starve the soul that will remain forever. We give food, water, clothes, comfort, luxury to the body. But what about the soul? Do we give it peace? Do we give it love? Do we give it kindness? Do we give it truth? Most people decorate the body but damage the soul. Most look beautiful outside but empty inside. The real question is, if the body is temporary and the soul is eternal, why do we spend our lives caring for what dies but ignore what lives forever? Why do we feed the body daily but starve the soul for years? Why do we protect skin but ignore the heart? Why do we decorate faces but let our inner world fall apart? Your body will return to dust, but your soul will carry the story of your life. Not your clothes, not your looks, not your money, but your kindness, your patience, your love, your truth. Take care of the body, but don't forget the soul. Because when death comes, only one thing will rise again, that is called soul.